So if we have a healthy cell, there's really two ways that a cell can become damaged. One is via stress. It's the word that everybody likes to overuse about all things. But stress is not inherently a bad thing. We talk about it in a bad way, but stress is merely something that pushes a cell a little bit further and beyond what it normally can handle. And under the right dose or right timing of stress can lead to adaptation. Now, stressors, this is the concept of hormesis. Hormesis is what doesn't kill you, makes you stronger. So mild temperature fluctuations is hormetic for cells. It's a stress that forces them to adapt, to become stronger, to become more robust. Exercise, when in the right amount, in the right dose, right timing, is a positive stressor. Even small amounts of free radicals or reactive oxygen species have been shown to be hormetic. It's a mild stress that makes a cell stronger and healthier and more resilient. Periods of fasting, for example, is a mild stress that, if done properly in a healthy enough body, is a stress to create adaptation. Now, there's two different types, let's say, of adaptations that can take place with a cell. One is physiologic and the other one is pathologic. Now, the ways that a cell can adapt to these stressors are, it can change size. So size would be, if it got larger, it's hypertrophy. If it gets smaller, it's atrophy. So let's look at some examples of physiologic hypertrophy. Would be skeletal muscle exercise, weight resistance or load-bearing exercise that makes the cells of muscle cells of skeletal muscles bigger so that they're stronger. So that's a physiologic stress adaptation in size becomes a hypertrophic cell. Now, where it's pathologic, for example, would be in the heart. Let's say the aorta coming out of the heart, the blood vessel, major blood vessel coming out of the heart, had stenosis. It was calcified and there was some atherosclerotic plaque. Then the heart's going to have to beat even harder in order to get blood out of that, past that to the body. And that extra contraction by the heart, the stronger contractions, is a form of exercise. Now we get hypertrophy of the heart, which isn't necessarily a good thing. So hypertrophy is an adaptation to stress, which can be physiologic in the case of skeletal muscle hypertrophy for exercise, but you can also have cardiac hypertrophy, which is not necessarily a good thing when the chambers get smaller. Atrophy, on the other hand, so let's say atrophy, a smaller cell could be an adaptation to some kind of stress. You can have the thymus, would be physiologic atrophy. That's normal. Supposedly when we get to be in our 20s, we don't need our thymus quite as much and it starts to become a little bit smaller. So you get atrophy of the thymus, and that's considered to be normal stress adaptation as we age. On the other hand, let's say somebody has a progressive chronic disease and you have skeletal muscle wasting and cachexia, for example, in cancer, or due to certain medications or conditions, and that would be an example of atrophy in a pathologic way.